One thing about Lynn Thompson, that man was always thinking outside of the box and coming up with ways to work around the knife laws or exploit loopholes, if you will. And so, about 15 years ago, I think these came out around 2010, he came up with the Paradox X, which obviously looks like a belly, but is not a belly. It is completely unflippable in its stock form. I know people are going to say in the comments that you can modify it to make it flip, but we're not talking about that. This is the stock form, 100% legal, basically a giant slip joint that just happens to have two split handles. You've got back springs that run the full length of the handles, and those provide a bias towards closure or a bias towards opening that requires you to consciously manipulate it for the whole sequence. But it does give you the very robust build of a volley. There's absolutely no way that this thing is going to close on your hands unless you shear the pivot pins like a traditional one. And it's a beast because cold steel. Yeah, I love this thing. It is so wacky. It does have snappy springs, so you definitely want to be conscious of your hand placement when you're closing it. But it is a very neat piece. Got a pocket clip there. Not particularly deep carry. That is going to leave a very large amount of handle. Obviously, somewhat belly styled handle sticking out of your pocket. So even though this is 100% legal in most jurisdictions, I would not walk around town with that sticking out of my pocket because chances are you're going to have to answer some questions. In theory, you should be fine, but I find it easier just not to attract that kind of attention. But it is a neat piece, and if you wanted to throw it in your pack to have a nice, sturdy folding knife, very large, sturdy folding knife, for cutting up your sandwiches and whatnot, then it would be a great one. It's very slim, carries very nice, and it gives you that aesthetic if that's what you're going for. I don't see these pop up too often, but they made a ton of them. I think they sold okay. So I want to say these pop up around the $100 mark. I think that's what I paid for this about a year ago. So yeah, that is a look at the Cold Steel Paradox X. Big old beast of a unflippable volley. So there you go.